Thanks for dropping in. I have been back to the pool room, or the doorway of the pool room, and I found something else. It's a box, and it looks very pretty, and I don't know what's inside. I'm thinking I know what's inside. It feels like there's something in here. It is indeed the box from a 1541C, and it feels full. But what lurks inside, I do not know. Well, looks like a plastic bag that might have gone on the disk drive. Looks like notices from Commodore business machines. If your diskette becomes damaged or worn out. Oh, there's 3 of them? Oh, yeah. Oh, they're different. So, yeah, if you have trouble, you can send a check for $10 or, depending on the card, $8 to 3470 Pharmacy. Huh. Did not know that. What else do we have? Oh. Alrighty. Okay. So, there's one thing. If you leave your X10 controller underneath the disk drive that you're testing or trying to get out of the box, it might turn the lights out. Alright. Okay. I really don't want to drop this. Alright. And we don't want to hurt the sacred styrofoam. So there's the disk drive. Looks pretty fine. What else do we have? Oh, we have a book. No cables. No cables. But the box, it is beautiful. Beautiful. So no disc, no cable, but it looks just empty. Alright. Let me think about this. You see, I just very carefully packed up cables that I could use to test this, but it was such a conundrum to get them back into that box. I don't want to do that. Alright. I really should keep one power cord right here. Now I know I have other serial cables here. Is this, yeah. That's a serial cable. Oh dear, 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 dear. I know. There are other power cables close at hand. I know it. Excuse me. What is this? No. That is not what I seek. Excuse me. Just one moment. thick cable. Ah. Hello. Alright, sorry about that. I will leave this cable here from now on, or one like it, for just such emergencies. So here we have a 1541C in a beautiful box and no cables. Well, let's see about that. So, firstly, we'll connect the power cable. Alright, what's wrong here? Wait a second. Alright, that's interesting. 2, 4, 6. This is not a serial cable. It looks like it. Looks kind of dangerous actually. It has the pins that might fit in the power connector, and then the pins that might fit in, or that do fit in, the serial ports. I have no idea what that's for, but I will set it aside carefully and not just stick it randomly into things. Okay, so now, by the way, serial cables on the Commodore 64 have ooh, 6 pins to them. They do. Alright. So this would seemingly be, oh yes, a newer drive. And how can I tell it's a newer drive? Look at that. It has loads of performance tests, which I have no doubt works just fine, but I will run it anyway. Because you know, there are sometimes disk drives that will read, but won't write. Alright, now how can I tell this is a newer drive? Well, when I take a disk and stick it in, it spins to help the disk get seated. And I'm surprised in some ways that they didn't have this earlier, because you see, it was well known amongst 40/40 people that it wasn't necessarily a bad thing to tickle the drive. And that meant, as you put a disk in, especially for a backup, give the command, but then as the disk is already spinning, close the door. And the 8050 and I think the 8250 spun the disk as you put it in. But the 1541 did not, until the later versions, when they made whatever changes were necessary to do that. But the reason it was good is because if the disk doesn't get seated properly, it won't read, and then people think there's something wrong with the disk drive, and there's probably nothing wrong with the disk drive. Probably. So this is running through its thing. It is a very pretty drive. Very pretty. Once again, as I look at the top and the bottom, I think they were made on different days. I think the drive mechanism maybe is a little yellowed. Maybe. Excuse me. Excuse me. I hate doing that. Okay, so the drive is spinning. Things are testing. The box is beautiful. it seems to be just dandy. I suspect if I were to put this up for sale in its pretty box, I would try and find some other original things to put in besides those disc things that they talk of. I think. Anyway, it is very pretty, and it doesn't have the rainbow thing. And I guess this drive, oh, here we go. In between, I guess, the time they made the 1541-2 and 1541C, they had switched to white, because of course the 64 was white. Or, sorry, off-white. Delicately off-white. And this went with the off-white much better than the brown of the earlier versions. But I suspect they were anxious to get to the 1541-2, that was smaller, had a separate power supply. And I think overall it was lighter. But this was the tried and true case, the tried and true everything. Alright, so things are happening. It's going to do the head thing. Love that head thing. And indeed, the 1541C is good. It is. I'm thinking, oh yeah, there it goes. Woo. That I might do one other thing. I might do, well, you know what, I'm going to load, I'm going to load display, track, and sector. And I'm going to run it. Ah. Oh, I see. Okay, this is not at all what I thought it was. But it's okay. No, this is not what I had in mind. No. No, 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 no. I thought this might be, now this is handy. What I thought it might be was a program that would put a little thing up and show you in the corner where things were. But it is not. So I'm just going to load the check disk. Because from what I have found, it is a very good way to really have a disk drive do something without having to be sitting around it. I will hit run. It will go and have a little word with the drive, and then it is checking track 1, sector 9, sector 10, sector 11, sector 12, and it will check, and I don't know all that it does, but it does seem to want to write to the disk, but it doesn't seem to hurt the disk. So I don't know if it reads everything off and then writes it back. I don't know. But it checks it. So I'm just going to leave this as it is. I'm going to take this lovely box and put it up here. Will it sit there? I don't know. Oh, look at me. And the styrofoam. And the styrofoam. And the original plastic bag that the drive came in. and 3 copies of Commodore cards in French and English. I'm just looking for a date on here. These must be different. I would think. But I can't see a date code. Mainly because if there, I see something that probably is it, but they are the same. 318-556, 318-556, 318-556 can, except one of them requests $8 and the other requests $10. But besides that, they look identical. Well, it's funny, I wonder if I were to hook 2 drives up at the same time, would it check them both? If I had blank discs in both? I don't know. Anyway, we don't need the monitor on. And we don't need to sit here and watch this. We do not. So, I will, with great care, put things away. I'm not going to put the, the drive gets kind of warm here. I'm not going to put the disc on there. And I will let this do its thing. On this table, there's not a whole lot of airflow. But remember, one of the things, it's a horrible thing to torture test something and have it die. But of course, that's why you torture test it. It is. So, we will leave this here. And, yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. Right there. Anyway, thanks for coming. I'll keep working away at getting into the pool room. 1 box, 1 disk drive, or computer, or whatever, 1 at a time. 1 at a time. So thank you. Your presence is always greatly appreciated. So until we meet again, bye for now.